Hello and welcome to Adam's Story Online. This video is designed to support young people and their families living with mental health illness. It will challenge you to take a walk in a young person's shoes as they struggle to transition into adulthood. My name is Chris and I will be your guide through this video workshop. Shortly, you will hear Adam's story through a series of audio clips. You will also see an actor perform monologues of 3 people in Adam's life: his sister, his key worker Siobhan, and his mother. All of the content you experience has been co-produced by real people using their lived experience. We recommend you use headphones if possible to enhance the quality of the audio clips. There will also be an interactive workshop that explores Adam and his family's relationships further and questions what we can do to strengthen the relationships in our own lives. To be clear, this story and video workshop explores mental health illness. If you would like to talk to someone at any point during this experience, please pause the video and use the signposting links provided in the description to find support. Adam's story will now begin.
In a few moments,
You will enter an avatar and become Adam.
You will be in Adam's home, Adam's life.
Adam's life will become your responsibility. You will have the controls. You will have the headset. It will be your responsibility.
Help him survive, strive even.
Defeat those that stand in his way.
To guide you, you will hear the voices of the following young people:
Beatrice,
Annie,
Amir,
Shahani, Angel,
Tashinga,
Ashkan.
Sadia.
the person sat in the chair in front of you is an actor.
Hello everyone.
The actor will voice 3 characters from Adam's life: Adam's sister, Adam's CAMS worker, Siobhan, and Adam's mum.
Let's begin. Game loading. You are now entering Adam's skin. He wishes it was broad and strong. He wishes you were wearing designer gear. Gucci,
Balenciaga.
Ely,
Louis Vuitton,
Nike, Jordan even.
but you are not. His mum could not afford that. He could not afford that. Could never afford that.
You are small, slim build, brown hair, dark brown eyes, blue Nike tracksuit.
Adam has set reminders for you. Alarms he uses to stay in control, to prompt himself into action. Adam has asked you to follow these markers he has set down for you, him.
7 minutes to 7. Adam should be up by now. Should be getting ready. Should be brushing his teeth and hair, like normal people do.
You lie motionless.
Adam lives in a small family terrace in Greater Manchester with his mum, his sister and his grandparents. The home is busy, noisy, full of people. He hears everything: doors slamming, shouting, drilling from next door, a road outside, snatches of nature.
Hear the noise of Adam's busy life as his family get ready to leave. Try and block them out. Try to focus. Whatever you do, don't get sucked in by it. Don't let it overwhelm you. Reach for the stillness. Reach for the silence.
Try to drag yourself out of bed. Imagine picking up your toothbrush. Feel the weight of it. Feel it getting heavier and heavier in your hand. The effort, the overwhelming effort of it all.
You stay where you are. Personal hygiene an unnecessary add-on.
In the house, they share everything. Adam shares a room with his sister, a black curtain between them. They have no space to call their own.
Say, I need a space of my own.
Say, I need space.
قول أحتاج مسافة.
Say, بدي مسافة.
Adam feels like he's not seen, like he's unheard.
Unseen.
Adam is smart, intelligent even. But he was kept back a year at college. He couldn't cope with the stress of it. His little sister is catching up to him. She's even got a part-time job. She's got money in her pocket and she's going places. Not like Adam.
He doesn't blame her though.
He doesn't blame her.
It's not her fault. She's not your enemy. You do not need to destroy her.
Watch and listen.
It's not catching, you know. What my brother's got. People treat it that way, but it ain't. Like, they avoid you and that. My mum's friends, the worst at it. She don't see him for dead no more. Feel sorry for her, really. I reckon I've got it, though. Or at least, I think I have, because I'm his sister, innit? Like, we're related and that. Not like Adam's got it, though. Not yet, anyhow. But sometimes I think I can feel it brewing. Like, just waiting to come out of me. Like it did with Adam. Boom. There it is. And I reckon me dad had it and all. There's no use talking to my mum about it, though. No use at all. She don't like talking about him. No way. And I don't like bringing my friends back home neither. Like, I think it pisses them off that I don't invite them, but I'm not bothered. I'm not having them seeing Adam if he's having one of his episodes or whatever. He's scary, man. Aggressive, like. Especially with Mum. Only sometimes, like. Still. Nowhere, no one from school seeing that. And he stinks sometimes. Like when he don't wash and acts like a scruff for days at a time. It's embarrassing. It'd be easier if Adam had, like, broken legs or diabetes or cancer or something. Because people would understand that. People would find that sort of thing easier to care about. Because Adam ain't a bad un, you know. He's just ill. When it first happened, I thought my mum would just make it better. Because mums make things better, don't they? With, like, hot chocolate and Calpol and cartoon plasters and that. But Mum can't make this better. Because Calpol ain't shit when it comes to mental stuff. When it first started, it was confusing, I guess. Like when I was younger, when I was little and that. But now, well, I'm almost 16. I get it. Mum's a human. I know it doesn't seem like it, but they are. And Mum can't make this shit better. No one can. So, my job is to make as much space as I can for Adam. And I can do that for my family. No problem. I make myself small. It's no big deal. Yeah, I do all right at school, you know. Yeah, it's mostly 9s. Well, 9s are like A's if you're old. 'Cause I don't want my mum worrying about me if she don't have to. 'Cause I'm all right. Like, I used to go to the quiet room in year 7 and 8, like, if things got a bit much. But now, since the pandemic, there's more people in there having, like, a mental breakdown or whatever than there is on the yard some days. Yeah, I've got a job and all. Yeah, I'm earning money. And I'm thinking of going to university and that if I can. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm going to get out of the house and away from Adam. It's a terrible thing to say, isn't it? But I don't know what else. It's just... this house is well small. And some space would be nice. I don't tend to complain about it no more, because my mum's got enough to... So I'll just put up with it. Because I'll be living my best life soon. You watch. I feel like he's died sometimes. Is that weird? Like, is that harsh? Like, I hope he don't actually die. Because my mum, she'd... I mean, I'd be upset. My mum? I'd lose her too. You know when you're on a plane, right? And the steward said, in case of emergencies and a drop in oxygen, a mask will fall from the ceiling. If my mum were on that plane with Adam, she'd be a goner. There's no way she's putting that mask on her face before his. No matter the consequences. Not that we've been on a plane. Not for a long time. Soon, though. Soon enough, I'm going to be like, you watch this space.
Adam's mum is always comparing them. He just can't compete. Doesn't want to compete.
6 minutes to 8. Adam should have left the house. Why haven't you left the house? You are making Adam late for college. He will be asked to leave now because of you. You are failing him.
Say, I just can't do it. Say, ye surf me nahi karna.
Say, मैं भी तेरा सावी.
Say, I always mess up.
Say, what's wrong with me?
Adam's biggest fear is the future, his lack of productivity, his lack of belief in himself.
Because he hasn't always lived in this country. Because of his health, he has to work harder than everyone else. Because English isn't his first language, he has to work 2 times harder, no, 4 times harder, 8 times harder. Because he is struggling with his mental well-being 12 times harder than everybody else. This puts him under great stress. He needs options, needs time to focus.
Time waits for no one. But he needs time to deal with his health.
5 minutes to 11. Free period. 1,000 words on human emotion in Lord of the Flies. Words that'll never be written, thanks to you.
Adam doesn't know what he wants to do when he grows up. Adam has no 5-year plan. Why should he?
He's only 18. When grown-ups ask, he has his rehearsed answers, but he's only pretending. He doesn't know what he likes. What does he genuinely like? He has no idea. He just wants to get through, get the help he needs and not to be in so much pain.
Sometimes it's simply enough to survive.
When things get bad, Adam immerses himself into gaming and avoids the conversation.
He'd rather talk to the worry dolls his CAMS worker Siobhan gave him. Anyone but Mum.
Adam's life is zigzagging. No longer a child, an adult, in adult services. He feels pushed out into the wilderness. He has to start again, with no guarantee of being accepted, like when it first happened, like when he was just a kid.
He used to cry a lot when he was young, but he hasn't cried for a long time. He's become hardened. He doesn't share his tears, not now he's older.
4 minutes to 1. Meet us in the canteen.
Adam drinks a lot of Red Bull. His favourite food is a classic Mackey's. He'd eat it every day if he could. That and his mum's curry from ages back. She hasn't cooked it for time. Not since before his dad left them.
Adam has lots of friends. Well, he knows lots of people at college and on social media.
His friends on social media seem to have perfect relationships, perfect grades, perfect lives.
Feel the emptiness of Adam's stomach. Hollow. You should eat. You need to eat. Adam needs fuel.
Sickness, nausea. What's the point?
Say, what's the point?
It's just sabab.
He has a crush on a girl that he knows since primary, Sienna, but he doesn't think he has a chance, doesn't know how to express how he feels, presumes that she'll like other people rather than him.
Adam is socially awkward and lacks confidence. When he talks to people, he often becomes nervous. Partly that's because English is his second language, partly because of his health, partly because that's just who he is.
Say, I can't do this.
Say, Amarati Nitai.
Another reminder, another opportunity to take control of Adam's life passes you by.
People don't see Adam's condition. People don't see Adam's illness. They don't know it's there.
Adam worries that if people knew, they would think he was crazy. They wouldn't understand. Most of the time, he just pretends.
3 minutes to 3. Adam's old CAMS worker Siobhan. A final visit to say goodbye. Siobhan is all right. You can open up to Siobhan. She's old, but you can tell she was once like you. She gets it. Gets you.
Watch and listen.
I know it's just a job, but I can't help feeling like I failed them. Adam and his family. I feel responsible. I feel guilty. What could I have done differently? I suppose it'll all come out in my supervision. Well, depending on what supervisor I get and what our workloads are like at the time. So it probably won't come out in my supervision, but it should. We should have the time to reflect on these things. I'll probably just put it down to experience and move on. Because there's plenty more kids out there needing help after all. And to be fair, I always feel a bit sad when it's time for him to move on. And Adam's no different. Sometimes if, for whatever reason, I don't feel sad, if, say, secretly I'm relieved or pleased even, well, then I feel guilty for not feeling sad. It's a difficult job. Sometimes there's no gaps in your day, but you have to find a gap from somewhere. So you miss your lunch. Or you run the risk of being late for the next person. Well, then that sets you off on a bad start. Because making a good start, building a good relationship, is important to me. To the job. Adam's asked me to refer him to adult services. And to be fair, he does still have significant mental health difficulties, but adult services are set up for people my age, not his. Anyhow, I've made the referral, but I'm not sure what they can offer him. He's had the family sessions, he's seen the psychiatrists, I've made links with the school and the college, and he's on his medication. Now, I hate seeing kids filling their heads full of chemicals, but in some cases, like with Adam's, it's needed. And now that he's an adult, as long as he keeps telling his GP they're working, he'll have an endless supply. God, I shouldn't be telling you this. I've advised Adam's mum to complain about the care they've been receiving. I told her. Complain. Just to get her revved up, to get her fighting for Adam. And it worked. Because it's what she needed to hear. I can't just sit by and watch families slide into what my dad would call a tyranny of low expectations. Because Adam's mum's a really nice person, you know. She don't always get it right, but who does? And now that he's 18, I know she imagines where he'd be if he were well. She gave up her profession when it first happened. And now she works long hours for little pay. Because Adam's illness, it don't really end, see? It just gets more manageable. Less destructive, less intrusive. Lots of little tiny improvements are all you can hope for, really. And that's hard for a parent. It's hard for anyone. I know what they'll say. Adult services. We shouldn't be picking this up. Another case of someone not doing their job right. And to be fair, they have got a lot on their plate, especially since the pandemic. As soon as one vacancy gets filled, it creates another gap somewhere else. And you're constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul. What did I miss? Trauma. Is there something he's not telling me? Because we were close. We are close. Is there something he was too ashamed to say? don't know what it is. What it was. If Adam and his family walked into my office today and we could start afresh, what should I do differently?
Try to move to open the door for Adam. Think, you should do this. Think, it is only fair to say goodbye. Think, this is for your own good.
You cannot move. You hide instead. Head under the covers. You pretend you are not in.
Adam feels like a steam train bellowing heat and steam, horns blaring, his voice straining above the noise.
Other trains passing him by, leaving him behind, moving on to other places.
He watches and feels stagnant.
Stagnant is worse than backwards.
He can't speak to his mum about his problems.
He doesn't want to put any more pressure onto her. He feels more confident talking to people outside the family, like Siobhan, his CAMS worker. Siobhan doesn't judge him. Siobhan doesn't put him under pressure. But you let Siobhan go. You fail to answer the door.
And now Adam suffers.
Adam can't open up to someone new. Not again. Open old ones. Not all over again.
It frightens him, and now it's frightening you.
His first appointment as an adult took 4 months to get. He was lucky, apparently.
When he asked for help, he felt like he was hitting a brick wall. Solid, unmovable.
Adam wants people to listen to him more. Only give him advice when he has asked for it. He needs people to lower their expectations of him. To know that he's not at his best right now.
Hey, why don't you get better, Adam?
السمع وقت كثير.
Here, it's been ages. Wulira, obudewabadewunji.
Here, what's wrong with you, Adam?
Ishbek Adam.
Adam isn't looking for people to say that they understand or relate to what he's going through.
Or understand the pain he's in.
Because they don't. They can't. Not even you, here in his skin. Now.
He needs people to trust him.
He wants to be treated like a person, not a patient.
He doesn't want to be defined by his illness.
3 minutes to 5. Medication.
Adam has a love-hate relationship with his medication.
His medication means that there's something definitely wrong with him, but it also means that he's got the help that he needs. It also means he can sleep at night, but he's scared he'll get over-reliant on it, and he'll have to take more and more over time.
You open Adam's bedside drawer and remove his pill box. Adam has dutifully filled his medication box for you.
Say, it's for my benefit. Say, مشان مصلحتي.
Say, it's so I can feel better.
مشان أحسن أتحسن.
Gamba, njagala kulira bulungi.
Think, I don't deserve to feel better.
Choose the correct day of the week and tease out his pills.
You know you should take them with food, but Adam has no appetite.
You try to move Adam's body to the kitchen. A piece of toast, half a biscuit even.
It's no use. You swallowed them dry.
At least you have done this. This much you have done for Adam.
A photo frame of Adam and Mum lays broken on the floor. Smashed, glass sharp and spiky. Ruptured like their relationship. Mum has good intentions, but leaves Adam feeling tense.
He feels guilt for the strain that he puts on her. He's aware that his mum is just trying her best, but her best is not helping. He feels like he's constantly disappointing someone.
Say, I'm disappointing. Gamba, siri muntu mulungi.
قول أنا فاشل.
Say, I'm a disappointment.
He worries what his family thinks of him. He worries what everyone thinks of him.
He worries. 2 minutes to 6. Preheat oven for tea.
His mother should be back. She's late again. Her work taking more of her than it should.
Watch and listen.
And now I am in the dark. Completely in the dark. Me. His mother. And now that he's 18, them won't talk to me. Them can't talk to me, apparently. I'm completely cut off. So what will I do? It terrifies me and makes me sick to my stomach. My boy doesn't talk to me. Him doctors and him workers, them won't talk to me. So who will? I know my boy better than anybody. But how can I help him if I am in the dark? And I don't care if he is 18. He is still my baby. My responsibility, mine. And I can't just give up on him. I won't. I feel tired. Very tired. And angry. That is how I feel. Angry. Angry at the school. Angry at the college. Angry at Siobhan, Adam's key worker. Angry at my parents. Angry at him, no good father, for what him do to us. And I think to myself, why should everyone have to suffer because of Adam? My parents and the sacrifices they make to help me care for him. His sister. She missed out on so much because of him. Friends, money, space, me, and my time. Our time together is just eaten up. And the guilt I feel. So much guilt. Is too much to bear. Adam should be better by now. I have done everything that Siobhan and Adam's doctors tell me to. I take him to the meetings. I make a fuss when them tell me to. I speak to the school and the college. I cook for him. I clean for him. I comfort him. What more can I do? Adam should be training to be a dentist or engineer or a businessman by now and be making plans to have a wife and a big house. I sacrifice so much so that he can have these things. My profession, my love life, my country. And we live here in this house on top of each other so that he can have these things. My so-called friends, their sons, they have these things. So why not mine? In my country, men are supposed to be strong. Adam is supposed to be strong, not like he is. My parents, Adam's grandparents, they blame me. I know they do. They say we should not have come to this country, that Adam would not be like he is if we had stayed home. But I can't believe that to be true. And yet, I feel the guilt all the same. You see, nothing and no one can prepare you for an experience like this. For caring for Adam like he is. An illness, they call it. My baby is ill. My darling boy, my little daughter Sunshine, is ill. And yet this is not what I think of when I think of an illness. There is no spots or a rash, there's no cough or a runny nose to wipe. And Adam is not a child anymore. He is 18. But I knew how to look after a child. I was good at it. Even with Adam and his difficulties, but How do I look after a man? And why should I have to look after a man, huh? How can I go on like this forever? I don't have the strength inside me. And what will happen when I am dead? What will happen to my Adam then? Who will look after him then?
Adam is supposed to start the tea for her, for his family. He's failed her again.
You try to move, will Adam's skin into action, but it's no good. You failed Adam again.
Feel the panic rising up. Try to control it. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Again. Your thoughts racing. A tornado of impulsive thoughts.
Spiteful.
Piercing.
Hurtful.
Please don't let Adam down. Not this time. He needs you now. He really needs you.
1 minute to 7. Breathe. Live. Stay alive. This is your mission.
To help Adam survive.
You now have just 1 minute to complete it.
Just 1 minute.
Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Again.
You feel like your head is bopping along water and you're trying to get a breath in before the water hits your face again. Like you're in the middle of the ocean alone and it's like the water is covering your ears and everything is muffled.
A voice in your head says,
Snap out of it.
Pull yourself together.
But as much as you try, you can't move, can hardly breathe. You feel pathetic. You are pathetic.
You look into the wardrobe mirror. For a brief moment, you catch a sight of Adam's skin. Face calm, mind screaming.
Game over.
Then the screen freezes. Adam's life has crashed. You've crashed Adam's life.
A buffering symbol turns.
An error sign appears.
You realise Adam is the villain. Adam is the big boss, the ultimate boss, Bowser, in a game that is his life. His own worst enemy. Adam, a manifestation of many negative thoughts.
Just 1 minute.
Look.
Think.
Amongst the broken glass laser box.
It is Adam's grounding box.
reach for it. Hold it tight.
The box is filled with precious things, things Adam holds dear. It is an old shoebox, simply decorated. Half the box is colourful, and half the box is sad looking, like Adam. On top of it, it says "Keep Out" in black letters. On the sides, his name is in bright colours.
Adam.
The box is filled with things that take him back. Things that remind him of a time when he didn't have so many troubles on his shoulders.
Adam feels the need to make memories, to remind him of who he is. Collect things that remind him that he is not just his illness.
He is these things. Things that are hopeful. Things that remind him that he has been well and that he can and will get better.
Take the things out.
Look at them one by one. Take them in.
Cards with quotes on, given to him by his friends and family.
Worry dolls.
His first ever game console. Nintendo DS.
Mario.
Sims. Games from a time when he remembers being in control of his world. Just him and himself and his games.
Certificates.
A scrapbook filled with tickets, receipts and photos.
Of a family trip with his sister and mum to Cornwall.
A double cheeseburger wrapper from McDonald's. The first one he ever ate. The design is different now.
A colourful sweet wrapper from his grandma last Christmas.
His father's old pocket watch. That when you open it up, you can see the mechanicals working.
The hand stopped at 7 o'clock, never to move again.
A note that was passed him in class by Sienna when he was in year 5.
His mum's perfume bottle.
Empty, but you can still smell it. Her.
He pulled the empty bottle out of a bin after an argument with her. Her perfume lingering at the bottom.
Daisy. Natural sweet smell. Floral but simple.
Smelling it makes him feel close to his mum without having to be close to his mum.
You understand.
Smell it now. Breathe it in.
1 minute past 7. Mum.
Think. Mum.
Mum.
Ammi.
Mama.
Ma.
Amiji.
Mam.
Nazal.
Ma. Be.
Ma.
You're okay. You're in control. Back in control. Adam is okay.
Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Again.
Adam doesn't need you anymore. You have helped him shed his negative thoughts and build resilience to their sting.
He steps away from you, steps out of your skin. You are not responsible for him anymore. He has taken his own path. You are just you. Adam is just Adam.
In the bottom of Adam's grounding box is a scratched vinyl. Adam places it on his father's record player, and it crackles as it starts to turn.
The music feels homemade. You can tell he likes it.
It is not immediately upbeat. It gradually moves with you, with Adam.
Music for now and where it all began.
Music from where he came from.
Music that speaks to him as he is. Music that speaks his original language.
Adam is now beside you in this room.
The music eases you both into feeling brighter.
Outside, a bleak grey Manchester sky with a tentative sun peeking on through.
As the music plays, you watch Adam breathe and move.
As he inhales, he catches a familiar scent. His mother is cooking curry for the whole family for the first time in a long while.
They must have gotten home without you noticing, without Adam noticing. You watch a tear roll down Adam's cheek.
And as the music plays, the deafening sounds of Adam's life move into the background.
And when the music comes to an end, you will watch Adam stand on his own 2 feet, comfortable, back in his skin, for now at least.
You will watch him head downstairs to join his sister, his grandparents, in his mum's arms.
We will now begin the interactive workshop. The first thing we ask people to do when they experience Adam's story is to think about how it made them feel and why. If alone, consider this question. If in a group, talk to the people you are with about your feelings. Please pause the video to have these discussions. Welcome back. I hope you found that useful. Now that you've walked in Adam's shoes and met his family, the rest of the video workshop is about trying to help them and their relationships with each other. To do this, I will ask you to answer a series of 3 questions and give you time to discuss them. Before you pause the video to discuss each question, we will listen to a piece of audio from people with lived experience we have already worked with to help guide and inform your discussions. Please also write your responses in the comments section of this video. The first question I'd like you to consider is, what barriers and challenges do Adam and his family face in order to have a healthier relationship? You will now hear what our people with lived experience had to say. The clip is around 3 minutes in length.
I think one of the main barriers is that each of them are kind of isolating themselves from the reality because they're quite anxious about what is going on and they're not communicating with each other.
Yeah, I guess some of the barriers in terms of them communicating is maybe like a lack of understanding around how everyone is feeling or the different ways emotions and feelings can present, I guess.
None of them are really communicating what the problem is and the understanding of each other.
On the one hand, he says, I don't want people to say they understand because they don't and they can't. So there's a sense in which his pain is private and personal. And he doesn't want people to offer solutions in a simple sort of way, which then poses, I think, the question for those around as to how do they speak to him? How do they find a way of being with him that doesn't make any assumptions?
Maybe that space hasn't been created for in that environment. And maybe even just a lack of the dialogue around mental health, or just generally trying to say how you're feeling could be a barrier between them.
There's a lot of pressure on each individual because they want to get everything right, we want to help each other, but they're really struggling to because they may not have the knowledge on the issue.
For me, it's not clear how much the family really understand about the mental health difficulties and why now, what's keeping Adam stuck where he is.
In some cultures, see mental disease as a weakness is also contributing to limit the way that you communicate it and how you can do something with that.
So Adam might not feel brave, or he might not feel comfortable to share how it feels for him or how much effort he needs to put in.
Kind of on that in terms of the environment that's created, if the mom is leading by example and she doesn't give space to those conversations, it doesn't seem like it would come from a younger daughter to create them.
Of course, she said that her plans are to move away, and that's going to make our young man feel even more sort of, it will add to his mental health issues, whatever they are.
The barrier is it's a crisis. So maybe it's fear.
And I think kind of building on that fear for the future as well. And like you say, not being able to focus on anything other than the here and now and what you're dealing with in that very moment.
Fear about how they will adult. So, that at some point that you're not going to be looking after them every moment of every day or have insight, and they start to have their own lives, their personal secrets with their relationships and things like that. But how do I know that that's a safe and secure relationship and that's not damaging them further?
But I have that constant fear. I genuinely think sometimes the minute the phone goes, it's, you play out in your head the absolute worst. So you're trapped by the fear.
Now I'd like you to think about this. How are they communicating? What is getting in the way of them trusting each other? Is there a lack of understanding? How does this impact Adam's care? Please pause the video and discuss question 1. We invite you to share your responses in YouTube's comments section so we can share them with others who may benefit from them. What barriers and challenges do Adam and his family face in order to have a healthier relationship? Please pause the video now. The second question I'd like you to consider is, how can we support Adam and his family to communicate in a more positive way? You will now hear what our people with lived experience had to say. Again, the clip is around 3 minutes in length.
So I think that it's going to be really important to build up the trust with each of the members of the family, and they may need to work with a clinician individually initially, because I guess what I'm hearing is everyone's trying to protect everybody else from their fears and concerns about the situation.
It's mainly about communication and understanding the root causes of what's going on for our children, rather than just seeing these, certainly in my case, this outward aggression. We have to kind of look at what's going on there.
We need, first of all, to raise their awareness about what actually mental health means and what mental health difficulties mean. So then the sister could understand a bit better of what's going on for Adam. Mom could also understand.
Sometimes some parents think negative motivation is better, but I feel like sometimes if you're in the state Adam is, positive motivation is better, because I just feel like if you're just going to put those negative thoughts onto him as well, there's so much going on in his head that it's not going to get him anywhere.
As soon as when the family knows that it's not a sign of weakness, and I think if Adam knows that as well, he'll feel more confident to open up about his issues, because he won't feel as ashamed of it.
It's about everybody being able, some sort of safe space, whatever that could look like, to share their fears.
If they can, link in with services that are free or that are cheaper, if there's support groups for parents or peer support networks, could be helpful.
It could be that they can maybe have some time with a key worker on their own to be able to sort of just talk about their fears.
Would be an opportunity to engage mum with what her beliefs are around mental health, and again what some of how she can seek her own support, and again what how she might challenge some of the stigma and the shame around that.
Open and honest conversations within your own environment, because we've found that there's very little external support, so we have to deal with it ourselves, and we've always maintained open communications, channels of communication for the kids, and it's very child-led, our household now anyway.
The only thing to think of, what can be done, so this kind of is to actually have time and space to think about it and open that question, especially the ones you think are fine. So I have found that with my younger daughter, when you actually ask her.
They don't have to have those difficult conversations. They can start off with just spending time together, whatever that is, a cup of tea all together, and being a part of that. So and creating some sort of nice conversations with one another, and just trying to sort of go from there.
Something that no one really talks about it, but you just really appreciate being able to be, being surrounded by people that you love.
Celebrate the little things, because I think that's a mindset that comes once you've had mental illness in the house, is celebrating the little things.
Now I'd like you to think about this. How can they show trust in each other? What do they need from services? Could you share any of your own experiences to support them? Please pause the video and discuss question 2. As before, we invite you to share your responses in YouTube's comments section so we can share them with others who may benefit from them. How can we support Adam and his family to communicate in a more positive way? Please pause the video now. The third question I'd like you to consider is, what could Siobhan do differently next time? You will now hear what our people with lived experience had to say. The clip is around 3 minutes in length.
there are concrete things like doing home visits if that's the best option, or being willing to meet elsewhere, like to go on a walk, so not to be bound to the constraints of the CAMS building.
It's for Adam, it might not be, maybe it'd be helpful if it wasn't in the home environment, if it was somewhere else, but like prioritising that they feel comfortable where they have this discussion.
Don't just focus on the person who's having the challenges, but also the impacts, the secondary impacts that it's having on the people around them, you know, on the parents, on the siblings.
You know, you're all coming from things in a different way, and you've probably got a few questions, there's some misunderstandings, and having in the bag a lot of stuff and a lot of things that can help and support them, and stuff outside of, you know, my remit in CAMS, it would be supportive services.
I think especially if we're talking about like a family who's moved from somewhere else, there's like a lot of cultural differences. Like I think we have to give a lot of space to understand that perspective too, and kind of understand how culturally mental health is very different.
You know, especially mum and her culture, and, you know, is there a group that she can attend to meet people within her same culture or religious beliefs, whatever it is, that understand mental health issues, to sort of build up that resource.
Empathizing with him. I think when I was in the services, a lot of people kind of like looked down at me and like looked like I was annoying them and that I was a bit of an issue. So I think you need to make sure that they don't feel like they're a burden.
Is that my child is so much greater than her mental health problems as well. And sometimes I just want someone to recognise that my child is actually amazing, but she has some mental health problems, and I don't want her always to be thought of in terms of her mental health problems.
And that's where the services could bring out more positivity.
After she's got to know him personally, saying things like, you are a great person and you do deserve the help. I do care about you as a person.
The sessions don't have to be a place for criticism, like they could be a place where you come out feeling better, or something, there's a positive experience.
Yeah, the language used, I think, sometimes by professionals is really stigmatising and parent blaming, quite frankly, at times.
The starting point that I would always have is an appreciation of the difficult task that everybody in the family has.
Trying to build their relationships up together again.
It's good for us to somehow support ourselves with the work that we do, because this sometimes can also impact our well-being and the work that we do with the young people.
Because if they're completely burnt out, it's just another one. You know, I've just got another kid to deal with.
They don't have capacity, and that shows.
And you just think, well, they haven't got any room, they haven't got anything else to give. So they need to be looking after themselves. They shouldn't have appointments which are back to back every day. There should be a limit on the number of appointments or a number of children and families they're allowed to see every day, and work into that how they're going to actually support their own mental health in between.
Now I'd like you to think about this. How can she build trust? How can she communicate more effectively? How can she build a better relationship with Adam and his family? How can Siobhan, Adam and his family demonstrate that they understand each other? Is there something new she could offer in her practice? Please pause the video and discuss question 3. Again, we invite you to share your responses in YouTube's comments section so we can share them with others who may benefit from them. What could Siobhan do differently next time? Please pause the video now. The workshop is now complete. I hope it has been useful for you in whatever setting you're using this video in. Thank you for taking part in Adam's story today. Please leave any thoughts and discussion insights in the comments section. If the show has left you feeling like you need help or support, please use the signposting links provided in the description.